Alright, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory unto the true and living power, which is Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Kadash. Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai is the true name of His only begotten Son. There is no God beside Him. And I want to give double honors unto the apostles and elders of the great millstone who rule well, who taught the truth and spirit by Yahweh Shai. And honors and salutations to the elect Akim, doing His work with sincerity and truth. So, pretty much, man, I'm just watching, the Roots remake. Alright, and first off the bat, let me say this, man. I remember watching Martin. I remember watching Martin, and they kind of made a joke out of it. He was like, I guess he said something like, he'll clean up, he'll wash the dishes or some shit like that after he finishes his movie. And I guess Gina asked him, "What movie you watching?" And he said Roots. And then the crowd was laughing and shit. So they demonize this movie and they make it look like a joke and they clown it so that nobody goes near it. Okay, but that's why the scriptures say, have faith, have it to thyself. In America, you gotta stand on your own 2 feet. You can't follow the multitude to do evil. You can't look for confirmation. You have to believe this thing for yourself, man. So anyway, watching the remake of Roots, and of course they're on the scene where they're in the slave ships, and I definitely recommend, if brothers haven't seen it yet, watch the remake of Roots, man. Here they on the slave ships. It's disgusting, it's horrific down there, and they're all up in chains, right? And not one of them tries to make a revolt, even though that did happen. But a lot of our people were in subjection. And why is that? Because Esau was in the prime, so to speak, of his blessing. Because the blessing that he has at that time is what took us down. His blessing. It's what took the so-called Native Americans down. All the tribes, man. Even though God was still busting their ass with bows and arrows, he came up with the Gatling gun, right, to lay God down. And here it is. Even when you watch Roots, we was using spears, but here Esau came with a gun. So he used his blessing. So this is Genesis 27:40. It says, this is how we know Esau, talking about the so-called white man. Okay, right? Matter of fact, Salaki, hold up. Alright, so Salaki, man, pause it and did a little small research, man. Alright, on guns, okay? Because let's read Esau's blessing real quick. Genesis 27:40, right? We'll start at 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. Yeah, and Esau's dwelling is, with the dew of heaven from above, man. He has the satellites up there, and so forth, man. Verse 40, it says, And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt, but that was a point. And by the sword shalt thou live. See, the sword. Let's go into the word sword here in the Hebrew, harab, which says a sword, a knife, right? Strong's definition from H2717, drought, also a cutting instrument from its destructive effect. See, a cutting instrument from its destructive effect, as a knife, sword, or other sharp implements axe, dagger, knife, mattock, sword, tool. So see, his blessing was to come up with destructive, effective, cutting instruments, man. All right, to kill you. Pretty much, his blessing was to come up with destructive instruments to kill you, man. All right, that was Esau the so-called white man's blessing. So let's go back to guns, because these are pretty much destructive, effective weapons to kill you, right? So it says the first one, who invented the first gun ever? The first device identified as a gun, a bamboo tube that used gunpowder to fire a spear, appeared in China around AD 1000. The Chinese had previously invented gunpowder in the 9th century. Right, so so-called Chinese, it is always in competition with Moab, you know? Moab almost had it, but let's continue to read. It says, who created the first gun and why? Historians typically recognize Chinese fire lances, which were invented in the 10th century, as the first guns. These bamboo or metal tubes projected flames and shrapnel at their targets. Right, that was really like, yo, the first gun ever, man. But check this. It says cannons appeared in Italy around 1320, where they were modified as European nations waged many wars. See? Right? So let's read the next one. So here it is, Moab messing around with fire lances, and meanwhile Esau already came up with the fucking cannon. See, it says when was the very first gun invented? In 1364. Now we know this is around the time of the Renaissance era, man. You know, the Renaissance was just beginning to happen, man. You know, really during like the 1350s. So anyway, it says historical timeline of the development of modern weapons started at 1364. See, with the first recorded use of a firearm, and ended in 1892 with the introduction of automatic handguns. See, so really, the first invented gun came in 1364. Was the first modernized handgun, and in 1364 Esau was just coming back into power, right? And here it is, we already see he was messing with the cannons, and to really just blow it out the park, man. This is says the first successful rapid firearm is the Gatling gun, invented by Richard Jordan Gatling and fielded by the Union forces during the American Civil War in the 1860s. It is operated by a hand crank and rotates multiple barrels. See, so now you got the damn Gatling gun, and of course none other than, why am I not surprised, a Edomite, a so-called white man. Okay, and let's not forget, who was it? Oppenheimer, that created the damn missiles. You know, and he said that he's become the harbinger of death or something like that. You know, see, so you could forget about it, man. The first guy to come up with a machine gun was the Edomite. All right, so, and you know what? All right, so hey, man, that you know, it is what it is, man. You know, first dude come with a damn Gatling gun, and the missiles were all Edomites. Okay, so let's to go back to their blessing, man. That they were able to come up with such destructive, effective weapons to kill you, man. Right? That was literally his blessing. So with that being said, that's why so many slaves were under subjection. You know, that I remember Kanye West said a while back that our people wanted to be slaves because there were so many of us, and we never did nothing about it. Okay, well, why did we never do nothing about it, man? Because Esau had that goddamn sword, man, that blessing, right? Of course, we could have taxed their ass, but he had his goddamn blessing, man, you know, which is that sword. So, right, that's why we were up in such a subjection. But guess what? guess what? The time is about to come where our blessing is going to kick in. Okay? Our blessing is going to kick in. Okay? The blessing of Jacob. All right? Let's let's see where that's at real quick. Here it is. Genesis 27 and 29 says, "Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee." See, so this is part of our blessing now. How are we going to be able to do this? You know, because they're not going to willingly do it. They're going to be forced to do it. How are we going to force them to do it? Are we going to get guns? And no. Part of our blessing is going to be what? The spiritual powers. It says, "Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee." Right? So really, to go into our blessings even furthermore is Romans the 9th chapter, man. Because you had your blessing, you ruled with your blessing, you enjoyed your blessing. Now the time's going to come where we're going to be able to finally get ours. Right? Romans 9 and 4 to the point. Who are Israelites, right? To whom pertaineth the adoption. See, the adoption back to Yahweh Bashem Rashai, the true and living power. That's why Yahweh Shai said, you know, before we even ask of anything, it's going to be given to us. You know, we're not even going to ask, so to speak. Okay, anything we ask is going to be given to us. He said that you know, it's going to be approved, man. Right? That's part of the adoption. It says in the glory was what? The kingdom. The glory also represents the chariots. You know, the glory also represents the spiritual powers, man. Right? It says in the covenants. Right? How we're going to begin to live forever. We're going to have the law, statutes, and commandments written in our inward parts. You know, and this is the real quick rundown. You know, it says in the giving of the law, in the service of the Most High, and the promises. See? So we're going to be able to kick into our blessing. So now your blessing is going to be obsolete. Right? That's why this is Isaiah chapter 59 verses 19. "So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the right, and so shall they fear the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai from the west, in his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai shall lift up a standard against him." See? Why? Because we have the service. What was that? What was part of our blessing? The service. I won't even go back. The service of the Most High. Okay? I mean, what? Yahweh Ba'ashem. And what's the service of the Most High? Okay? The service, right, is the same first couple of letters as the word servant. What is the servant of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai? The angels. Because the scripture say that the angels are ministering spirits, ministering unto those that are heirs of salvation. What's another word for ministering? Serving. So even the angels are for us. Okay? The righteous angels, that is. Alright? So it says the spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. Right? Because now our blessing is going to kick in. So now when you come in with your blessing, which is the gun, our blessing is going to kick in, which is going to be spiritual powers, man. And that's why it was a time and season for you to rule over us and, you know, do what you do unto us. And that's why we bow down unto you. But now the time is going to come where that's done. You know? Matter of fact, that's why this is Lamentations chapter 4 verses 22. Real quick to the point. It says, "The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion." Alright, Zion represents you Israelites, man. Okay? Let's real quick look at that word, Zion, right? In the Hebrew. See, it says Zion, to Zion 1. It says Zion, parched place, another name for Jerusalem. And what's Jerusalem? Jerusalem is the capital of Israel, man, which represents you Israelites. So it says, "The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity." See? So now that our sin is accomplished and we're not going into captivity anymore, when Esau tries to come and put us into captivity, it's going to be a joke. Okay? Your blessing, which the sword ain't going to work no more. Right? Which is why this is Isaiah chapter, brothers know where I'm going, Isaiah 54 and 17. "No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper." See? Because your blessing is done. your effective, your destructive, effective weapons that you come up with to kill, it's not gonna prosper anymore. Your drones, let's come on, keep going into it. Your drones, your rockets, your Predator missiles, Scud missiles, or robots that you're creating to attack people. This is Esau's blessing, man. I remember the brother in Hawaii brought that out, was going into that. But guess what? No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. Why is that, man? Because our captivity is done. Our iniquity is accomplished, man. Now it's time for us to live out our blessing. So now when you try and come down with your sword and put us under subjection like you did before, it's not gonna work this time, man. You're gonna be able to kill 2/3 and do what you want, because they're not gonna inherit the blessing right away. They're not gonna make it on the first round trip. But some of us brothers are gonna get the blessing immediately. See, it says, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of Yahweh Shema Shai, and their righteousness is of me, saith Yahweh Shema Shai. You see? So you gotta face but you're gonna realize that you're gonna come to face the cold hard truth that the Lord was never with you. The only reason why you were able to get us to captivity, into slavery in the first place, is because we disobeyed his law, statutes, and commandments. That's why it says Psalms 50 and 21. It says, these things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself. But I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. See? So you thought because you were able to take us down and do whatever you will, and you ruled for X amount of centuries, that the Lord was really with you, but you're going to come to find out that he wasn't. When you're going to find that out? When us brothers get spiritual powers. When else you're going to find it out? When the Lord cracks those clouds and comes and demolishes y'all in World War III, in the midst of World War III, and shock you out and put you on slavery, man. Okay? So, that's pretty much the point of this lesson, man. Your blessing ain't going to work this time around, all right? Because you're done. All right? Shalom to the elect.